What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today is a slightly different topic, not just about skill building, but just life in general. And today's topic is how to be unique. Okay, so when it comes to what you are with your skill, okay, so having your own unique, expression within your skill, and then also just in life in general, becoming a unique person. So, to start this off, I just want to say, as humans, I think people forget that we are really just input and output machines. So, whatever you're consuming, whatever you're taking in, is always going to very heavily affect the output that you produce. Okay? So, when it comes to being unique, something very important is input variety. Okay? So, whatever input you're taking in, you need input from a lot of different sources, a lot of variety. And when you get input from a lot of different places, all of those concepts, you start to notice concepts that you appreciate, concepts that you agree with, concepts that work for you. And you'll find them in all these different places, and that all kind of come together to form something unique that's different from anyone else, right? So it's super important to be getting information from a variety of sources. You may take certain things from this person, and then certain things from this person, and certain things from this person. And you're not going to be exactly like those people. What you're going to be is like your own unique interpretation of all the ideas that you learn from them. Okay? So when it comes to learning a skill, or when it comes to taking advice on anything, don't just take advice from one source. Get advice from a variety of sources. Learn from a variety of people within your skill. And that way, you're able to more clearly find for yourself what works, okay? Taking concepts from a variety of places. All right, number 2, path to becoming unique. Following your motivation and also understanding yourself. Okay, this is so important because so many people are just following this set path that they didn't even create for themselves, right? It's just what they're expected to do. It's just the easiest path, the path of least resistance. If you truly want to be a unique person, if you want to reach mastery in your skill and have some kind of unique way to express yourself within your skill, you have to actually follow what motivates you. Okay, you have to actually be engaging with something that is motivating to you intrinsically, beyond all this external motivation. External motivation is also fine. It's also a great form of motivation, but are you fundamentally interested in what you're doing? Are you going to actually gain something in your life from what you're doing, just in general with your life, the direction you're heading? Okay, if you want to become a unique person and different from everyone else, right? Not following this same set path. That's the thing about being unique, right? You're not going to follow the same set path that everyone else is following, right? You're going to do something original, something different, okay? And how do you find what actually motivates you? That's when it comes to understanding yourself, right? I don't know if you guys can hear that. Something's going on outside. I don't know, it's kind of loud, but hopefully it's not annoying. Anyways, that's when it comes to understanding yourself. So many people, I ask them, what do you like? What do you want to do with your life? Where are you going? And they can't even answer that question whatsoever. I'm not saying you need to have that totally figured out, right? But you need to at least take a second, recollect what kinds of things do I actually enjoy? Why do I enjoy those things? Where did that come from inside of me, right? Actually taking some time to start to untwist your own internal motivations and start to understand them. And then, once you truly start to understand yourself, then where you're supposed to be going, the place you're heading becomes much more clear, right? But again, I think it's difficult for people to break that barrier within themselves and really look deep into their childhood and look deep into what made them what they are and how they're being heavily influenced by everything around them. Very difficult to break that down, very emotional. It's going to make you feel self-conscious and things of that nature. So most people never breach that area. They're just too busy distracting themselves. But if you truly want to become a unique individual, if you truly want to let your own self shine through, then this is the process that you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to follow what's motivating to you and find out what's motivating for you. Next up, trying new things. Once again, a lot of people just want to keep doing the same thing because it's comfortable, it's easy, and you don't have to put yourself out there. There's no risk of failure. But if you truly want to find where you're supposed to be going, if you truly want to find what you should be doing on this earth for yourself, you're going to have to try a variety of things. When I was younger, I really didn't like trying new things. I was very rigid in my way of thinking. I'm still pretty rigid. Like, I'm like fairly confident. Like, oh, the way I'm thinking, like, I think I'm on the right track. But I'm always open to being persuaded by whatever method you have that the way I'm thinking is wrong. But when I was younger, I was very stubborn and I didn't like to try new things. I didn't like to try new foods and things of that nature. And slowly, like, I met some friends who exposed me to trying new things and just expanding my horizons and things that I didn't think I would enjoy. Activities, foods, music, things I didn't think I would enjoy. When I actually was exposed to them and actually experienced them, I really started to appreciate them and I came to like them. And now I'm very open to new experiences because you never know what's waiting for you. You never know how it's going to, again, increase who you are as a person, right? Increase your uniqueness, set you out from other people. It's trying new things, actually finding out what you like, what you enjoy. Again, it kind of comes back to the variety, right? It's about trying a lot of things and taking bits and pieces of everything collectively and then creating this own unique formula that no one else really has going, right? Your own unique like archetype. Next, something to becoming unique, becoming good at things. So improving at things, actually picking a direction and putting it all on the line and just running with it. Again, it's just a rare trait for people to actually, deviate from social norms or what other people are doing and just run after something that they truly want and truly become good at it. And also, in the process of becoming good at whatever you choose, you're going to discover a lot about yourself, what you enjoy, how you like to learn, how you just interact with the world and people in general. Pursuing a goal, pursuing a challenge, trying to become good at something is going to cause you to face a lot of emotional issues inside yourself and give you the opportunity to really grow and, again, become a more unique person, a more exceptional person. All right, getting into some other things. There's no rhyme or reason for really how I wrote these down, just things I want to talk about regarding this process. One, don't be a copy, okay? You see a lot of people out there who want to emulate like a certain person or emulate a certain style. And while that's fine for a period of time, like whenever you're learning who you are fundamentally and trying to discover who you like want to be and what kinds of things, like what kind of person you're becoming, you may go through periods where you're kind of emulating other people and you're testing out things, right? But you don't want to become just a copy of someone else, right? Because you're never going to perfectly copy someone else. You're never going to perfectly copy another style, right? Much better than becoming a copy is becoming like a genuine, unique person, right? Taking aspects of other people and bringing them into yourself and becoming a unique person. That's much stronger than these like cheap copies you see online. Or in person too. I mean, you can tell as soon as somebody's trying to fake who they are, right? It's very obvious because it's not like you don't feel the strength, you don't feel the foundation when you talk to them. But when you talk to somebody who's truly original and who's truly gone through the process of discovering themselves and chasing their goals, and when you meet somebody like that, It's plainly obvious. So you don't want to be a cheap copy. It's great to listen to people, great to take ideas from people, but you don't want to just completely copy someone else. You want to become your own personal, unique, strong individual, right? All right, next up, understanding that you are exactly where you should be. So, again, I don't know how much this has to do with being unique or whatever, but when you're on your journey to becoming this person, when you're on your journey towards, becoming unique or becoming skilled at something or anything, you're going to have times where you're wishing things were a different way, where you're wishing that you could just hurry up and get what you want. But you need to understand that everything is the way it is. Everything is exactly how it should be. You're exactly in the position you need to be to grow. You're exactly in the position that you should be in. It's hard to explain, but like when you get a little more experience with this kind of like these kind of ideas and self-discovery and trying to push yourself and improve as a person, like eventually you look back to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, and you start to see how every single little thing that happened at exactly the right timing to lead you to this exact moment. And when you become unique and you're pursuing things you enjoy and you're following your motivation and you become pretty satisfied with what's going on, you start to see that you are exactly where you want to be. You're exactly where you should be. And you don't have to force anything to change. Now, of course, you want to be improving, you want to be, pushing yourself, but it's also good to remember that things take time and where you are is okay. You just need to really accept the present moment and just do what you can to keep moving forward, keep improving, and also enjoying where you're at, and just with the understanding that everything will make sense when you look back on it, okay? In the moment, it might feel unclear. In the moment, you might not be 100% sure, but eventually when you look back, you'll realize that everything happened at the appropriate timing and you were in exactly the right spot to make that happen, to become the person you are, okay? Next up, another important thing is to stay humble. So, again, people want to protect their ego. Everyone wants to. You want to prove to people that you are a certain way. And every time you try to defend yourself, every time you try to, push an image of yourself, oftentimes you're going to get the exact opposite effect of what you want. And you might miss out on good information. Again, if you're not humble, you're trying to project this image, you're trying to tell people how great you are and things of that nature, which I'm definitely guilty of doing too, guys. Don't get me wrong. But you're actually going to get the reverse effect. You're going to turn people away from you. Now, this isn't always true, because if you're dealing with a very egotistical, non-humble person and they meet you and you are that way, you're kind of humble and modest, they might actually just dislike you. Yeah, it's just something I found that is usually fairly accurate. I haven't thought too deep. Maybe they can sense like the level of security that you have within yourself when you're not trying to constantly like push what you have going on onto them. They can feel that level of security and it makes them feel insecure. So they tend to kind of push you away so they can get away from that bad feeling. That's my guess based on just my 10-second analyzation of that. But yeah, staying humble is so important to actually achieving what you want and becoming unique and exceptional. Again, when you stay humble, you're more open to trying new ideas. You might meet somebody that you write off at first that could be a super good friend, or somebody who actually has a little more going on to them that's worth diving into and worth understanding. Also, if you just believe you have everything figured out, you're just not going to be improving, right? If you believe you're 100% right, then there's no room for improvement. Sometimes we need to be reminded that we are idiots, that we are still stupid. And the only way that happens is when you're actually humble and you're actually open to accepting that. And this goes hand in hand with curiosity. You need to remain open. You need to remain in this state where it's like, I know where I'm going, I'm pushing for what I want, but I'm still open to the present moment and the opportunities that are arising to me, which is difficult because, once again, like, we all want things to go a certain way. We all want things to work out perfectly for us. But if you just remain curious in the moment, you can let go of all that and just try to, engage with what you currently can and be curious, because you never know what you're going to find when you're not like focused on one exact thing, right? If you're focused on only one objective and you ignore everything else around you, then you might miss out on some really great opportunities. So while you do need to be pushing forward, you do need to know where you're going, at least the direction you're going and why, and your motivation for it. You also need to remain open to the present moment, open to any other opportunities that may arise near you. All right, and the last one is stay the course, because it takes time. So becoming this person, becoming unique, having your own archetype, it takes time to build, like, beautiful works of art aren't made in a day. I mean, sometimes they are, I don't know. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, this is a process, and it's going to take time, and you're going to have to keep engaging with it, and you're going to go through ups and downs, and you're going to have difficult times when you try to do this, right? And you're going to have good times when you try to do this as well. But just remember that it's going to take time. Eventually you will get there, but you have to stay the course. You have to believe in yourself. You have to stay open. You have to keep improving. You have to stay curious, hungry. And yeah, just becoming this unique individual. I mean, for me, I think it's one of the beautiful things you could do in life. One of the most beautiful things you can do in life is just become this person that nobody can replicate, right? This person who truly has, found themselves. And while no one's ever going to be perfect, kind of striving to be this more like ideal version, not to try to put like labels on who's better than who or whatever. But I think all the people I've met in my life that I really like resonated with or respected or wanted to be like, they were all unique individuals who had just a good sense of self, a strong sense of, confidence within themselves, but not like overbearing to where it's just complete cockiness or falsehood. You know what I mean? It's like a quiet confidence where they've truly become this, person that can't be replaced easily, right? For me, I think that's beautiful. I am, everyone has their own opinion. You might not want to take this path, but if you want to become a unique person, if you want to become an exceptional person, this is kind of my roadmap for how I would go about doing it. And, I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm super unique or exceptional, but I do think I have like a vibe about me, like a style about the way I go things that is, maybe slightly deviating from the norm of people you may encounter. And I think, yeah, people I found tend to be fascinated by that. Some people are turned off by that. Some people may not want anything to do with you. But one thing's for sure, it makes you an interesting person. It usually makes you somebody that people want to find out more about. And that's not really why I do it. This is kind of naturally the position I ended up in and how I just like to live. But yeah, anyways, guys, I think that's all I have. Again, I don't take like hours thinking about these videos before I talk, so sometimes I say something that's stupid or ignorant. It's just bound to happen. But hopefully this helps you on your path. And if you have any questions or there's anything you want me to talk about, specifically about learning, then definitely please leave a comment and I'll try to make a video just for you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much and have a great day.